two, one. Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Digs Live, where we talk to my pals across the country, answering the age-old question, I would love to sell my Glendale, Los Angeles area home for these incredibly great high prices, but where the heck would I go? I mean, honestly, we live in an area where most people are desperate to move to, and that's awesome. And if you're listening to this broadcast and you want to move to Glendale or the Los Angeles area, please call me. We'll help you. But this broadcast, this show is specifically geared to the people who want to know the answer to the question of, I'd love to sell my home, but where would I go? So today we're talking to a relatively new girlfriend of mine. Her name is Lynn Johnson, and she is a native girl from Raleigh, North Carolina. And I had the immense pleasure of going to Raleigh, which, as anybody who knows me knows, that I have a little thing. I don't think that I really travel much east of the I-5. Raleigh is very much east of the I-5. And I've been trying to get there for a really, really long time because everybody told me it was gorgeous and beautiful. And it is gorgeous and beautiful. So I thought I'd ask my friend Lynn to just share with us things that we should know if we want to explore Raleigh as an idea of moving to from here. So Lynn, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for asking me. I'm excited.
Well, just don't say anything rude, okay?
Okay.
I mean, so you can cuss if you want to because my audience hears me cuss all the time. So that's all right. Of course, you're a proper Southern lady. You probably don't do that. I don't know. Do you?
Well, behind closed doors, I do.
Well, you can think of this as like some closed doors because it's just you, me, and a, Facebook world. That's all.
Facebook world.
Yeah. What's said here stays here. So don't worry about it. You can just tell us some truth. It's all right. Like nobody's going to know if you're talking smack about something, just, All right. So you are a real estate agent. Can you tell me a little bit about how long have you been a real estate agent? What do you specialize in? What do you do? That kind of stuff. Go.
So I got my real estate license in 2006 and I started working in new construction. And when I worked in new construction, I was basically selling custom built homes. So I wasn't sitting on site for a track builder or anything like that. So I did that for about 3.5, 4 years. Mm-hmm. I had 2 kids and took some time off. My degree is actually in education. So I taught high school for 3 years and I taught interior design for high school.
Oh my gosh.
It was so fun. I would take them on these field trips and we just had a ball. So basically then I decided I'm going to get back into real estate, and I got back into real estate, started working with Go Realty out of Cary, North Carolina. And once I felt like I had been reborn into real estate. Like I had no clue what I was doing before. I didn't keep any of my previous contacts. I didn't keep any of my clients. Like I had no idea. I closed the deal and I never touched that client again. So it was really, really, really eye-opening for me to start back with Go. They had a completely different way of doing things. And then I went and worked with Keller Williams for a year and worked on a team where I learned a ton and just loved the people that I worked with, loved everything that I learned, soaked up everything they had to offer. And then I decided, hey, it's time for me to do my own thing. And Bamboo Raleigh was opening up and I just kind of fell right into it. So that's a little bit of my story and how I started.
So it sounds like somebody wanted to talk to you and maybe even consider the idea of building a house. You might have some experience that could really help a Californian that want to do something really different.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when it comes to building a house, because I did start in new construction, I've actually helped quite a bit of people that have built homes. So when it comes to the insides of those walls, like I know what should be there, what's built there, because that's my foundation. And I do a lot of
homes is something that we don't even get to dream about here. So that's really interesting. Well, let's just kind of get into a little bit about what your area is like. So you've been in Raleigh your whole life, is that correct?
I have, born and raised.
All right. So talk to me like I'm a kindergartner, and what is it that you love about living in Raleigh and living in your area? What smokes your boat about that?
Well, I think the biggest part is that if I go west, I'm in the mountains. If I go east, I'm at the beach. If I stay where I am now, it's still equally as fun either way. So that is one of the things that our state offers, is that we have so much diversity from the east to the west as far as what you can do. And we have so much, even if you go south down into Charlotte. I mean, we have the Carolina Panthers here. We have, NASCAR is a big thing here that everyone loves to partake in. I personally don't get it, but it's okay.
Okay, I know what the Panther is, so we're good.
The Carolina Panthers are the NFL, their football team.
Football, okay.
Yeah.
Well, everybody knows how much I don't care about football. Okay, good.
So we've got the Carolina Panthers here, so that's a big thing. They've been on the news here lately because they're starting practice. But I think it's just the ability to go from beautiful beaches to beautiful mountains. We have the Biltmore Estate here, which is located in the mountains, and it is a beautiful area just to tour. Actually, Alyssa and I are planning to go there sometime, probably in the spring, because it's so beautiful there and the flowers are just gorgeous. But that brings in a lot of tourists for our area. And then we have all of our beaches. We have the Outer Banks. We have, Wilmington, which does a lot of film industry projects and things like that here. Dawson's Creek used to film here in North Carolina, which I was an extra on that back in my college days. So we just have a lot to offer. We have,
the Dimples guy lives about a mile from here.
Yes. Well, I just think that this state has so much. And we're also so close to other states. We are a short plane ride to Florida. We're a short plane ride to Nashville, Tennessee. We're a short ride to New York. We're a short drive to DC. So we are very centrally located on the East Coast to so many really powerful areas.
Cool. It's interesting you say that you can take go either direction, either be in mountains or beach, because honestly, most of us feel that's what we offer as an amazing destination, because you could go to the beach or the mountain. You could be skiing in the morning and the beach, for sunset if you wanted to here. So it's interesting that you have a similar lifestyle. So see, there's all kinds of reasons you could go to Raleigh and not have a huge difference in your lifestyle, except I think it's warmer there.
Absolutely.
All right. So here's the question. It's kind of Googleable, but kind of not, right? Because we can certainly get on Zillow or Realtor.com and find out what houses cost in Raleigh, but I'm more interested in what a particular lifestyle will cost, what a house will. Okay. So if I were to tell you, then I would like to live in an upper middle class neighborhood. I want, all the homes to be reasonably consistent in quality. I'd like about 2,000 square feet. From a Los Angeles person's point of view, a 6,000 square foot lot is considered a standard city lot. So say a 6,000 square foot lot-ish. Maybe a family room and pretty much moving condition, maybe not redone to the nines, but not needing to be remodeled or fixed up or anything. How much would something like that cost?
So the one thing about our area is that the average price point right now is around $300,000 for a house out here. Okay. And I'll tell you that's not relative to the entire area, because we've got different counties. So I work the Triangle area. So the Triangle area is made up of 3 counties. We've got Wake County, Harnett County, Johnston County. Sometimes they throw in Durham County, but I hope not. So anyways, in Wake County, you're going to pay a lot more for a house than you are in Johnston or Harnett County, just because they are more of your country counties to me. We live in Johnston County, and out here you can probably we're 25 minutes from downtown, 25 depending on traffic, and you can probably get 2,000 square feet out here for a little over 200,000. So a little over 105, 110 a square foot probably. Like I'm getting ready to list one right now that's 2,400 square feet. We're going to list for probably 245. And, it's 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, bonus room. And that's actually on like 0.8 an acre lot. So again,
sorry. Wait. We don't do acres. So can you give me square footage? What would
so that's probably if 6,000 square feet is like around 0.10, it's probably, so 6 times 8 is 48. So it's about 48. Yeah.
So we're talking what, 40,000,
48,000 square feet.
Well, that's a full acre, but okay. Yeah.
So
okay. Yeah, I talked to Kristen Starvos last week, and I asked her the same question about lot size, and she says, we really can't do 6,000 square feet. And I'm like, really? You guys have smaller lots than that? And she says, no, we really do things in acres.
We do too. We totally do. I mean, I had to Google when you said 6,000 square feet for a lot. I'm like, wait, what is that? But we do acreage here, so everything's in acreage. And
what about right around where we had the Genuine Hustle in Raleigh itself? Okay,
so in downtown, you're probably going to be closer to 450, 500,000.
Okay.
And that's I just had a client that was under contract on a house inside the Beltline, which is in that downtown area, and it was 500,000, and it was like 2,300 square feet. Okay. And that literally is on a slither of a lot as well. So yeah, that's what you're looking at.
You thought, okay, whatever. You thought that was a slither of a lot. That's so funny.
Totally a slither.
You're just so cute. You're adorable.
Because I'm so used to letting my son just run outside and pee in the yard. I mean, it's like you can't do that in a slither of lots.
Yeah, I'm not even going to process that one. Okay, so what about cost of living? So what are property taxes like in your area?
So property taxes, if you're inside the city limits, you're looking at probably your tax rate's going to be like 1.15, 1.25. If you're in the county,
depending on how the price of homes goes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So in the county we don't obviously have those city taxes, and we're at like 0.85. So for example, that 2,400 square foot house that I'm getting ready to list, that's not in the city, that house has a property tax of like $1,700 a year.
How volatile are your property taxes? Do they change much from year to year in general?
They've actually decreased. They decreased here recently. So that was definitely not by much, but a little bit. They decreased. So everyone's loving that. That's especially out in the county. But the people that are in the city, they're paying way more than what we were paying in the county for sure. I mean, way more.
That 2,400 square foot house, so they're going to be paying what, like, $3,000 a month or a year?
Yeah, probably around 3.
Okay. All righty then.
And out here, that's a whole lot to pay $3,000 for property taxes. So that
I'm not going to tell you how much property tax I'm going to be paying with my next house. We won't discuss it.
I have a lot of clients that have come from California, and they got clients that just came from Ohio, and they were like, "Wait, your property taxes are what?" Mm-hmm. Now, out on the East Coast, the beach property taxes are much, much, much higher. But here we're very.
All right. What about a gallon of gas?
We're at like 220. Alyssa's probably going to kill me for not really knowing this. Probably like 225, 230.
Wow. It's a lot less than ours.
That's right. I don't know that but we just filled up our tank when we went to Myrtle Beach last weekend, and it was only $1.88 in Myrtle Beach for a gallon of gas.
There's a reason why Californians have electric cars. That's crazy. What about, like, I don't know, I actually don't know what a gallon of milk costs here, but I'm sure other people do. What would a gallon of milk-ish cost?
I think we're somewhere around $2.79 for a gallon of milk.
And a dozen eggs?
Probably, I would say like $2.30. I'm probably really bad at asking these questions because
I don't super
my heart up, and I'm like out the store.
Right. So, I mean, you can get a dozen eggs here for, maybe 250, whatever, but they wouldn't be like
Yeah,
the organic.
that's about average over here.
All right, so that's about right.
Well, unless you're going to go like the whole organic route and get some farm fresh eggs, and that's, phew.
Kristen had a whole thing for me about farm fresh eggs, and it was just a little bit beyond my comprehension. I'm a city girl. I come from the concrete jungle. That's what I am. So let's talk about the people. One of the coolest surprises for me when I visited Raleigh is that a lot of the stereotypes that I was expecting, I didn't see them. So talk to me about your people.
Well, what did you expect?
Because you probably hang around with cool people because cool people are attracted to cool people. But tell me more about like just kind of the average culture around where you live and around Raleigh.
So again, I think it's all relative to the area. I will tell you that downtown Raleigh is one of the most accepting and fresh and hip areas that
super awesome.
Yes, that we have. I mean, we've come a long ways in downtown. I mean, we have just grown so much. Glenwood South is one of our districts. We have the Warehouse District. We have a couple of other areas down there, but we have some of the most amazing restaurants. But the people are just so accepting. I mean, they are. Everywhere you go, you'll see in all of the restaurants, which I think it's like about 90 some percent of all of our businesses downtown are locally owned businesses. So that's really cool. But all of them have signs that say, Raleigh, all are welcome. Y'all means all.
I saw those signs. Those were freaking awesome.
Yes.
I mean, I have to tell you, again, I've never really been too much outside of LA until the last couple of years. I always said, I want to go to the South. I want to eat Southern food, but this colored face, I'm not so sure it would go down there,
Oh, totally.
And it was great. But so you say, but it varies a lot by county. So how about out in the county, not in Raleigh proper? What is it like out there?
So I'll tell you, out in one of our little county seats, which is Smithfield, which is the county seat for Johnston County, and it is it's a little bit different. It's a little bit more of that Southern born and raised, and just everyone should think a certain way. But I will 100% be honest. I just had to. I have a rental property I was filing an eviction on, and was down there in the county seat talking to the magistrate, and he and I just kind of struck up a conversation, and he said, we've got a lot of diversity here in Smithfield. And I said, really? Like, tell me about it. And he started telling me about all the different kinds of people that have moved to the area and that how welcoming everyone. Yeah, well, that, and, he was like, we used not to have any gay people that lived in Smithfield. I'm like, really? So he said, yeah. And I said, well, that's funny. I had a couple call me the other day off of Zillow, and he said, but I want to look at living in Smith. Before I do, I want to make sure that you're okay working with two guys that are married. And I said, I think you hit the nail on the head when you called me. Yeah, totally. Good. But so I told him, I said, Smithfield is becoming very welcoming, and, our whole area, our county has just really become a lot more welcoming than what I even had anticipated. I mean, living here at one time and having a family here and then moving away and coming back and being engaged to a woman, I'm telling you that it's definitely welcoming. Alyssa and I, we go out locally all the time. We have friends that own restaurants in Smithfield. We have friends that own restaurants up in Clayton. And I'm telling you, I think everyone is kind of getting to a point of, they're okay with those things. You're still going to have your few random people here and there that are, going to be dumb, but other than that, I think it's a very welcoming area. And I find that my clients, when I tell them a little bit of my story and what my situation is, they're like, we love that. We love love. We love that. And, all are welcome in Raleigh. I mean, you'll see that on signs, you'll see that on the side of buildings. And, I've done a few videos standing in front of the all are welcome Raleigh that's painted in the rainbow colors. And I just love that's one of the first things you see when you come into our downtown is that big painting on the side of the building.
Absolutely. So what I'm hearing from you then is, there's been a lot of negative press about North Carolina to begin with.
Totally.
But, totally. And so what you're basically telling me is that at least in the areas where you sell homes and where you live, the trend towards acceptance and being more globally minded is a very present trend. And in some places like downtown Raleigh, it's even like super cool. I mean, I thought I was going to get into spitting matches with people who, I'm not a particularly political person, but would have tremendously divergent political opinions from myself. Let's just put it that way. And
you will find that it's not as we're labeled.
Which is awesome.
We're really not. I mean, I think that, if you sit in, we've got a couple wine bars in downtown Raleigh, and if you sit in those on the weekend and you just hear all the different conversations, it's a place where you could easily walk up and step into someone else's conversation, and they're so welcoming and they're so like, hey, let's hear what you have to say.
So let's talk about those people. Let's talk about what do those people in general, what do y'all like to do? Now I'm starting to talk like you. Isn't that funny? It's probably going to last for the rest of the day too. What do y'all like to do for fun and what's kind of the thing? Is there a particular, are you guys really into outdoor sports? Is that kind of a thing or what's kind of like, yeah.
Well, so some of the things that we like to do in the area, obviously we have the Carolina Hurricanes, which is a hockey team.
For clarifying.
Yes. We love hockey. That season lasts forever, but we love hockey.
So what I'm really hearing is sports is a big deal where you are.
Sports, but for us, I think we've become more of an outdoor festival. Like last year, I think we had the Bluegrass Festival, and it brought in over 200,000 people to our area.
Wow.
So that was the biggest festival in downtown Raleigh last year. We do a lot of different things. There's a really, really, really weird one that is always downtown when Alyssa and I go downtown, and it's called Comic-Con. And it's basically these people are dressed up in characters, and they're doing
Comic-Con belongs in San Diego, not I'm just letting you know.
It is unreal.
Anime Expo, the biggest one is here in LA. I just,
oh my God, bless your heart, because it's all I'm gonna say.
It's just like those. You talk about. Watch it.
Oh my God. It's literally we were in an Uber and we were like, what is going on? Mm-hmm. This guy is holding a puppet in his hand. The girl is blowing bubbles and the kids on the streets are like, what is happening?
You want to see true, awesome creativity. You got to come to the Anime Expo. The kids will love it. Come to the Anime Expo. It's always July 4th weekend. Take you down to the LA Convention Center. It is... Costumers would die to be able to have that execution and some of the stuff they do. It's amazing.
Well, yeah, so we do a lot of festivals. We do a lot of music events. We do a lot of we have the Red Hat Amphitheater downtown Raleigh where we do a lot of people come through there. We have Walnut Creek, formerly Walnut Creek. We're actually going to a concert there tomorrow night. Journey was there 2 nights ago. And then we have, country concert tomorrow night. So it's a lot of stuff going on. People like to really get outdoors in this area. We don't like to really stay inside a lot. They don't. I like air conditioning. But I am good with staying inside and taking the humidity, not even dealing with it. So
I'm going to ask you an ignorant question. Does it snow where you are?
Sometimes, yes.
All right.
It does. It's in February or March.
Okay. March? Yeah. It's spring here in March. It's getting to round about nearly 80 degrees in March here. So, and you have snow.
It was cold. It was really cold in February, and We did have, it was on Christmas this year. It was like 85 degrees. Christmas morning was 85 degrees. It was
That's reasonable. That works for me. So, okay. All right. And then talk to us about, what the weather is like right now, because, we live here in LA, we're basically desert climate, Mediterranean climate. So for us, high humidity, like we don't know from. So you've kind of never had anything but humidity, but tell me what it's like to live with that kind of weather.
It's something you just have to get used to, because honestly, the humidity, like last week, I think was around 65%. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's just crazy. That's just crazy to me. I mean, you walk outside and it's so thick in humidity. Sometimes you're just like, oh, I cannot breathe.
How many months during the year is it like that?
It tends to be like that definitely in our summer months, because it gets so hot, but we have a lot of summer storms. We have a lot of summer storms, which then, so that doesn't help. But our fall weather is really good here. Like our fall is really good. It's crisp, really like cool. Like we're in 65, like that is right around. I love to wear some gym shorts and a hoodie, and that is right around my
So really the humidity and the hot and the unpleasantness is for about 3 months or so out of the year. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, it's not terrible. They just warn you, if you move here, don't get pregnant and plan to have a baby in the summer. Okay, don't do that to yourself.
You should be abstaining during what months? During about November or so. You don't want to be doing anything.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I duly noted. Anybody who's thinking about moving to Raleigh, Lynn is telling you don't do that.
You can. You just need to be
in October. Great. We'll write ourselves a blog post about that one. Yeah. And then one last question that I had on my thing, and then we're going to wrap this up because we've gone a little over time. What types of architectural styles are common, first in downtown Raleigh and then out in the county where you are?
We're seeing a lot of increase in more of the contemporary styles downtown. Beautiful contemporary homes are going in downtown. If you go outside of downtown, more of your craftsman style, traditional style homes. We don't have a lot of contemporary outside of downtown, but they're slowly starting to make their way back for sure.
Okay. So do you have y'all have basements and attics, right?
We have attics, yes, but basements are few and far between because we're real flat out here.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, we don't know what basements are. We might have a California basement, which is about big enough to put your water heater in, and that's about it.
Yep.
So excellent. Well, Lynn, this has been awesome. How do people get a hold of you? What's your favorite way to be getting a?
I love for people to call or text. That's my favorite.
Okay, so what can we put your phone number on screen here?
Sure. Yep, it's 919-279-8169. That's my cell. Okay. Or you can always go over to my website, which is mysouthernview.com, and they can email me from there.
Okay, excellent. So you guys, if you want to talk to Lynn, she is old school, none of this electronic BS. She wants to talk to you. She wants to love on you and say all kinds of cute Southern sayings and whatnot that we may or may not understand. So reach out to her at 919-279-8169, or you can look her up if you don't, if you're like me, you're afraid to talk to people until you get to know them. So if you want to look her up electronically, you might be an axe murderess or something. One never knows. So mysouthernview.com. And I put that on the screen, but I don't know how to spell Southern, so I'm not going to embarrass myself. So that's, I'm a creative speller. The internet doesn't understand my creative spelling, but it is very creative.
I love that.
Girlfriend, it's been awesome talking to you. You coming out to Inman in San Francisco?
Yes, I'm super excited. My girl's going to be on a few panels, so I'm so ready to wear your... You froze for a second. Wait, what did you say? Wear your what? My shirt. Last year they made me a shirt with Zach and Alyssa's face on it, and I wore that during her keynote. So I don't know if if they've got anything in the works this year or not. I'm a little scared, but if not, oh well, I'm going to be there supporting her and learning all that I can.
I'm on 2 or 3 panels. I can't remember which. And I'm kind of laughing. It's like, I'm not complaining, but I'm just like, here we are. Those of us who've been in the Inman world for a long time, we've been saying, look, we want fresh faces. We want to talk to people we've never heard from, right? And then I was like, every year I get asked on more panels and I'm thinking, okay, well.
Totally.
I'm not complaining. I like.
There are some favorites that I like. There are a few favorites that I love to see, and that I love to hear the things that they say, and I just kind of soak it up like a sponge. But
well, it's true. I mean, when you get new faces, you don't know if they're going to share, be really candid and really give you the good stuff, or if they're going to try to be all protecting and only say things that are bland and vanilla because they don't want to offend anybody. Brad knows I have no problem offending people, so.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, so if you're going to Inman, just prepared. I probably will say things you won't like. Sorry. That's me. All right, girlfriend. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you in San Francisco. We should have a drink, or at least I'll have Pellegrino and you can drink, or we can drink and I can give you my drink. And it'll be good. Right? Okay. See you. Love you. Bye. All right. Oh, okay.